I have to say it was my absolute greatest honor what I was able to give my mother the last few weeks of her life. She was such a character. I mean, such a character. It was kind of when it was almost kind of an I Love Lucy thing, that she and I would get into these jams, and as something as silly as being at Macy's in the dressing room, and we would laugh, and we'd open the door, and we'd have an audience, and they would want to say, "Oh my goodness, we never heard a mother and a daughter laugh like the two of you." And we just, laughed all the time. What happened was the October of 2011, she really had lost a lot of weight. And then they finally realized that my mother had a tumor that really was not operable. So I decided to move into her apartment with her. In the middle of the night, she'd call for her mother, but I knew she was calling for me. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's a dance and movement therapist, when she came home to really spend the last few days with supporting me, but also my mother, she said, "Oh, Mama, you need to get in bed with my mother, and you need to just be close to her, because that will improve her breathing and it will really relax her." Well, oh my goodness, we all took turns, and I would kind of spoon her, and we'd have this breathing together, and with every breath I could feel her getting a little relaxed. But one night I go and my mother's not there in bed with me, and I went to the other room and she had went into the twin bed, and I said, "Mama, what are you doing?" She said, "Well, Susan, it's the darndest thing. Somebody's sleeping in my bed." And it was me. And I said, "Oh, Mama, that's me." And she, "Oh, okay, well, that's okay." So, but that morning, she suffered a pulmonary embolus, and it began a very rapid decline. And right around that time, my mother said to me, "Oh, Susan, I'm gonna die soon." And I said, "Oh, Mama, you got a little ways, but let's make the best of it together." And she says, "Well, I'm gonna die on Thanksgiving because that's my favorite holiday." And I said, "Ma, please don't do that. That will really bother me." Well, sure enough, 3 hours into Thanksgiving Day, my mother breathed her last breath. Now, while my mother did not want to go anywhere, she did not want to leave this world, but I really feel I gave my mother a very peaceful, I really believe that my grandmother loved my mother with the first breath that she took. And I really believe that my mother felt the love with the very last breath that she took. I'm so grateful for that last 6 weeks of 24/7 with her. I will never be able to get that time back, and it just really gave me, you know what it did? It gave me this insight that, wow, if my mother can do this so peacefully, I'm not fearful. I'm just not fearful. My mother did it. I can do it. Hopefully in my time, in the proper time.